Hello and welcome back to the Dotte Radio. Today we have joining us Coach Adams or Mr. Adams, whatever you want to call him around here. But he's kind of, the head
I've been called both, and I've been called worse.
Exactly. He's the head honcho around here.
Yes. Okay.
But me and Jude Jude told me that Mr. Adams had a Wikipedia page. So of course I had to find it, and I found him. And we're like, you know what, we're gonna interview him. So I didn't know you actually had a pro career, kind of. You went kind of far. Yeah, so anything you want to say, because I know all your players are going to listen and watch this.
All the players?
Yeah, absolutely. You know
what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure how many of our players actually know the history or my background. My dad always stressed, do well in school and play all the sports that you can. You're going to work for the rest of your life.
You took football and ran with it, didn't you?
Well, my sophomore year, everything kind of came together. I mean, I did have a great experience through the Taylor Mustang system. I can't, have this conversation without mentioning Ed Boyke, who went on to become a political figure, Wayne County Commissioner. But it was interesting because, at 9 years of age, they asked him, who wants to play quarterback? There's 30 guys out there. Guess what? 30 guys raised their hand. So we all get in the line up. He gives me a football. He says, throw me a pass. Well, I'm about 6 or 7 in the line. And everybody's throwing the ball, and it's hitting the ground, and, it's off target. I got up there, and I threw it over his head about 20 yards, and he goes, that's my quarterback. But my sophomore year, I made the varsity team. At Taylor, at the time, we did not have freshmen in the high school. The ninth grade was at the middle school level. But I made the varsity team as a sophomore, and I had to learn some lessons the hard way. Felt like I was better than a senior. Most sophomores, have a little bit of confidence, and if you're a quarterback, you got to have a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
but Coach Avery, hey, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. Your time will come. And I kept working hard. Got my butt in the weight room. The weight room. I'm not a very big person in stature, 5'11". I still weigh 215 right now. Finished high school at 187. So I look at some of my other friends. I'm a lot better off than some of them are. But point of it is that the weight room, taking care of business in the classroom. And then, my junior year, the first game, I really excelled. And I'll never forget, the reporter coming up to me after the game against Crestwood, and they had this kicker by the name of Pete Stoyanovich, who went to kick in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. But that day I kicked 2 field goals. One was at the end of the first half, and one was the game-winning field goal. Plus, I threw for a lot of yards and a couple of touchdowns, and I just remember being on cloud 9, and I told my dad, he's like, well, how do you feel, boy? I said, you can never experience this. It's like the ultimate high. You can't get this high, and it's kind of right from that point on. I kind of knew that was going to be my destiny. I was going to go to college and want to play college football.
But so when you got into college, how different was that whole landscape from high school?
Well,
that'd be a huge transition.
You take a kid out of Taylor, right, who has the background that we've already talked about. You put him in the college atmosphere when most of those guys were coming from more affluent areas with parents who, had degrees in education. And, I didn't really fit in, I'll be honest with you, at first. It was a battle. But, I'd experienced that, throughout life. I was always the younger guy running around with the older guys in the neighborhood. So I had to keep up. First of all, to be given the opportunity to have a full ride scholarship, was a big deal. And if I can, I'd like to backtrack a little bit on that because coming from the background that I grew up in, my dad, he didn't have to mortgage the house, but I remember when Jim Harkema, Coach Jim Harkema, the head football coach, sat in our little house in Taylor, and he said, we're going to give you a scholarship. And I said, well, what kind of scholarship? And he goes, a full ride. My dad was like, where do we sign? I was like, easy, Dad, there's going to be more. And there were a couple of other opportunities. Northern Illinois University and Central Michigan had offered. You got to look at this realistically. Eastern Michigan, you might not want to go there, but they really, really want you. And you guys don't know the background, but Eastern had one of the longest losing streaks at the time in college football. And my first year, they talked about eliminating the program altogether. They were going to do away with football. And think about it, I just signed my letter of intent in February.
Yeah.
By May, they're saying, wait a minute, Eastern Michigan's talking about dropping football. What am I going to do? I turned down Northern Illinois, I turned down Central Michigan. And Coach Harkema said, listen, it's all going to work out. And the people of Ypsilanti were phenomenal. The fan base, the business community, they all stepped up. And, I had an opportunity to play as a true freshman. And, my first play at Rynearson Stadium. I told the story, my kids don't believe it, but Coach Avery was just walking into the stadium, and Robert Gordon was the starting quarterback. I was actually third. That's a whole other conversation, but I got moved up because the starter got hurt, and I was fully expecting to redshirt that first year. And all of a sudden I'm number 2, and then we're going to rotate you. 3 series to year 1. Well, we got an interception on the 3rd series, and Coach Harkin goes, "You're in." I said, "I'm in. It's supposed to be Robert's series." He goes, "You're in." And I'll play that we can still run today. I have in our scheme 50 all go. I look to the tight end, look to the slot, and I throw the ball outside to the left to Darren Powell, who was out of Detroit Deportes at the time. It's a strong tradition of football. It was a 46-yard touchdown pass in my very first play at Rynearson Stadium.
Well, yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I didn't let you get a whole lot of questions in, but
it's all right. No, I'm glad to hear the background. A lot of people don't really know that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the invite, gentlemen, and maybe we'll get an opportunity to do this again down the road.
Yeah.
Sure.
Next interview, I will talk more, I swear.
Adios.